masquerade, paper faces on parade, masquerade. Hide your face so the world will never find you. Christine, I love you.
I talked about this a little bit before, that Christine has empathy for the Phantom. She understands what he's going through. She's not sympathetic, she's empathetic toward him. And so she leaves him with the engagement ring as a symbol of her love for him and a symbol of the respect of Raoul for the Phantom as they leave. Now, in the musical version, what we just saw in the movie version is the Phantom escapes through one of his many secret tunnels hidden behind a mirror. In the musical version, this is an incredibly cool scene at the very end of the musical, and this is the end of the musical. The Phantom sits down in a chair and pulls a cloak over him. Meg comes running in and pulls the cloak off the chair, and the Phantom has disappeared, and the mask is sitting on the seat. It's a pretty amazing magic trick that happens right in front of your eyes in the live version. You can, if you go on YouTube and you search for the magic chair or the ending scene of the Phantom of the Opera, you'll find a bunch of scenes that are posted online where you can actually see that happen. In the movie version, we can continue on with the story. And so that is not the end of the story in the movie. The Phantom has disappeared, but now we jump back to 1919. We go back to the time period when Raoul has purchased the music box from the auction, and we saw him going somewhere in his car, and now we find out where he was actually going to. We find out that Christine has died in 1917, 2 years earlier than where we are right now in 1919. We're assuming that this must be an important date, probably the anniversary of her death. And we also find out by her tombstone here that she was also a mother. So Raoul and Christine also have a child. Christine lived to be 63 years old, and we're assuming again Raoul is probably in his 70s, but he's very sick and dying. So he really wanted to bring this music box to her tombstone on this particular day. And we also find that the Phantom has been there that same day and left a red rose with a black ribbon and the engagement ring tied to it on her grave. So the Phantom has been alive this entire time. If you remember back to when they were down in the basement of the Opera House talking about the Phantom haunting them until the day they die, now Raoul realizes that yes, in fact, the Phantom would have haunted them their entire lives, but because that spell was broken on the Phantom, he's left them alone for 50 years, and who knows if he's been watching them this whole time. No one is really sure. The story doesn't tell us that, but the Phantom is still alive, at least at this point. And there is a sequel to the Phantom of the Opera story called Love Never Dies, written by Andrew Lloyd Webber, that continues on the story afterwards. So hopefully you enjoyed the story of the Phantom of the Opera. Again, it's a lot like all other stories like Beauty and the Beast and the Frog Prince. The same types of information and situations that happen with the love triangle between the two men and the beautiful princess, and the one character being affected by some kind of what we call a character flaw. Hopefully you were surprised by a little bit of the ending of it. There is one final little question thing that you need to do, so take a look at that.